Hey everyone, thanks for coming out and checking out this video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change the cabin air filter on a Tesla. So these are the official cabin air filters from the Tesla website, but the tricky part is not buying them, the tricky part is installing them. So I'll show you how to do that, how to take out the old one, how to install them, all that stuff, tips and tricks. So let's get started. Just for some clarification, this is for the right-hand drive Model 3, not the left-hand drive. And my model has a heat pump, which might change the way this is done. This is a 2021 Model 3 rear-wheel drive with heat pump. But I'll show you how to do it. So let's do it. So here is what we need to undo. This thing needs to come out, and there are clips and some screws up here that also need to come out. So this clip here needs to come out. This clip here needs to come out. And that screw that I saw earlier, that screw needs to come out. So to take out this bottom bit, I bought a screwdriver set, and I believe it's a Torx bit that we need. So I'm just going to try this one here and see if that works. I think it will. So it looks like the correct size is a Torx T4. That worked for this screw. What can also help is a pry tool like this. So let's try the pry tool on the clips. Yeah, that worked. Came out easy as. Now I'm going to be removing the rest of those clips. So I'm using the pry tool and just removing these clips. You can actually remove them with your nails if you have long nails, but it'll hurt. And it gets old quick when you hurt yourself working on a car. So I recommend a pry tool. If you don't have one, you can just use your nails. As you can kind of see here, I use my nails to pull it out. Sometimes the bit that pushes the clip in comes out before the clip itself, so sometimes you just gotta pull the two out one at a time. Now I'm pulling out the trim piece here, and you can see that's a cable that you're gonna need to disconnect, so just make sure you disconnect it. I think this one is for when Tesla service looks at the car. It looks like some kind of communications port. There's also a light here, which unfortunately is disabled in the standard range / rear-wheel drive Model 3, but the wiring's there and the light's there, so that's a bit annoying. But anyway, you could leave it unplugged out of spite because it will never work anyway. But I suggest plugging it in case you get a service, you know, an error message or something. So yeah, this one's a little tricky to unplug. Next up, we got this. So I've already pre-taken this out, but basically there's all these clips and you just want to pull it out via the top and the bottom corners. For the knee airbag trim cover, there's actually one more clip that I missed, so I'm just removing that fastener clip here. Just popped out then, and then you kind of pull this down towards you like so. Maybe not as aggressively as I did. It's actually bent one of the clips, but it kind of got caught on this side for me. I actually can't believe how complicated for a cabin air filter this is. Like a lot of petrol cars, you just take out the glove box and it's right behind the glove box. Anyway, this is Tesla and you've came for a Tesla repair video, so yeah, you pull this trim piece off. Just be careful with it, it'll come out eventually. Now we're going to remove the screw that covers the little door that the cabin filter is behind. So I'm just undoing that screw now. It's a silver screw, but it might be differently colored in different cars, but in my car it was silver. And it was also a Torx T4 bit. Here's the screw. Next up, let's actually remove the cabin filter, and see I just took off the little door that's covering it, and the filter is here. So it's not too hard to remove, but it takes a little bit of persuasion to get it out. Keep in mind that there's two filters in here that you're going to be removing. I'm not sure why they did that, but yeah, there's two. and there's going to be a lot of dirt if your filter's dirty. As you can see, it left a huge mess in my car, so make sure that you get ready for that. Here's what it looks like inside of the condenser, for the air conditioning or the cooling radiator, I guess. So it's not too dirty, the radiator itself, which is great. Or maybe it's a condenser, I forgot the exact terminology, but yeah, that's what it looks like inside. That's where the air comes from. And yeah, pretty cool to have a look inside. If your radiator is really dirty, maybe you could clean it. Now let's put the new filters in. Installing the filters proved to be quite difficult, but as long as you bend it, you can actually bend this filter quite a bit, and you just have to kind of push it in and bend it around, and eventually it'll go in. But yeah, it took a lot of effort. Maybe adopt the technique that I'm doing. Also, make sure that the arrow is facing towards you on the filter, that little arrow that you see. That's the airflow indicator, so yeah, that should help. And the first filter will go in, and then it will kind of fall down as there's a cavity for two filters. So just let it fall down, and then we'll put in the second filter. So the second filter actually went in quite easily, but I just decided to pull it out a little bit and put it back in, so it actually covered the grills of the condenser. Yeah, so yeah, just if it seems like it's gone in too far, just pull it out a little bit and put it back in. Now we'll put that door cover back on, so it just slots in the bottom there for the air filter door, and then you get the screw and you'll attach that on the top bit. I find manually screwing it in at first is a good bet, because if it falls down in that cavity, it's going to be pretty hard to retrieve. So just use your hand, manually screw it in a bit of the way, and then do the rest of the way with the screwdriver. Now we can put everything back. So after replacing the air filters, just make sure the air conditioning works. Turn it on, make sure there's no weird sounds, anything like that. And if it's all good, you can start putting things back in. So I'll show you how to do that now. So let's put stuff back into the car. Put the car back together, I should say. Ignore the dirty floor. It will get cleaned after all of this is put in. So let's put the clips back that we took out. So this clip here lines up with that there, so we'll just get that done. Looks like it's lined up okay. So next up we will install this part. What's interesting to see is that this is where the knee airbag goes, but in some markets Tesla doesn't actually give you a knee airbag. So Australia does not have a knee airbag, but it does have the little hole for it. You can actually see it says knee airbag cover, so that's interesting. Anyway, we'll clip this back in. So just line it up, the clips, where they would go, and it should just clip back in. Looks like it clipped back in just fine. So this piece goes on after that piece. And what's interesting is that this light is actually software disabled in the rear wheel drive, but it is plugged in, which is a bit of a shame because, you know, the hardware's there, they just choose not to give it to us standard range drivers. So for this one, this bit is gonna go here and you'll basically clip it in, but let's attach this. So this is for the Tesla support. I think if they want to diagnose the car, this is one of the plugs they might be using, I believe. You also want to reattach the light even though it's disabled. Maybe one day they will enable it, but you don't want to leave it unplugged. You might get some error codes if you do. So that goes back in there and that goes back in here. Then you'll slide this back in and clip it in like so. These seats make funny noises. I hope this video helped you with the Tesla cabin air filter change. If it didn't help you, please leave a comment below and I'll try my best to help you out. Give the video a like if it helped you, and a dislike if for some reason you don't like free tutorials on how to do things. Subscribe if you want to see more Tesla and tech content, as I do a lot of it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. See you all in the next one. Lens Addict out.